Greetings, everyone. My name is Vinay. So today's agenda, here we'll be covering QRadar SOAR system requirements and prerequisites. Followed by that, we'll see steps and procedure required to set up a QRadar SOAR virtual environment. After that, we'll be looking at the command line tool available for performing the initial configuration to set up the SOAR. Now, there are some assumptions here. We understand that you possess a fundamental grasp of IT security, and you're familiar with basic concepts of SIEM and SOAR. So let's get started. This bootcamp series will be based on QRadar SOAR platform version 50, which is the latest version. You can download it from the link. Now let's look at the installation methods for SOAR. If you plan to install QRadar SOAR platform, known as on-prem configuration, there are two options available. One is the virtual appliance installation. Second is the software installation. Now in virtual appliance installation, you'll be provided with a OVF file, which is the open virtualization format. It's a image, which is most commonly used on on-prem option. You can download this file from the IBM Passport Advantage website. On the other hand, for software installation, you need to install and configure the software on your own RHEL system, which is Red Hat Enterprise Linux system. Both the links are available on the screen. Now there is sizing guideline available for QRadar SOAR based on different workloads in your organization, like typical, moderate, heavy. SOAR platform resources can be customized. And while customizing those resources, this sizing guideline comes in very handy. For more information, please do visit this link. Now, during the initial deployment, we recommend you engage IBM Security Expert Labs to help you onboard smoothly on this wonderful journey of SOAR. Now let's look at the prerequisites for virtual appliance installation. Like I said, you need a OVA package, which is available from the IBM Passport Advantage. Now this virtual image is based on Red Hat Enterprise Linux. On the screen, you can see an image which describes the minimum requirement to set up this machine. So the VMware hypervisor version ESXi would be 7.0 or later. Virtual disk size should be 185 GB. The provisioning of this disk should be thin. Minimum CPU cores would be 4 and minimum RAM would be 16 GB. Now for software installation, here are the prerequisites. You need to ensure that the operating system is Red Hat Enterprise Linux version from 7.4 to 7.9 or 8.8 or later. A point to be noted here, RHEL9 is not yet supported. Now you need a user account on the system with sudo privileges. Now typically resadmin, which you will find in the virtual appliance installation, in software installation, you need to create this user with sudo privileges. Here also, you will need minimum of 4 CPUs and 16 GB of RAM. And there are certain packages that you need to install. Those are wget, EPL release, policy core utils-python, and create repo. Now, the firewall must allow access to these ports. 443, this will provide you UI and REST API. 65000, this is for supporting Java-based apps. And 65001, this is required for Python-based apps. Now, all SOAR functions are Python-based. The integration server, where the apps are hosted, they communicate with this port 65001 of the platform using the STOMP messaging protocol. We'll be discussing about these in detail during our session on app host and application integration. Now, the first step during the initial configuration is to import the license that you have received from IBM team after the purchase of QRadar SOAR software. As you can see on the screen, there is a procedure that is mentioned. Resadmin user is having sudo privileges. So you run the respective commands to import the license. Now, upon successful import, as you can see on the screen, using the command sudo license-import, you can see the message successfully imported license. Now, if you pay attention on the lower part of this screen, there is US regulators enabled. There is CA, there is EU, and there is APAC. So all these regulators are enabled by default when you import the license. Now the SOAR platform uses dates for different purposes and therefore needs to know the time zone of your location. By default, the SOAR system time zone is set to UTC. So if you wish to change, these are the steps that are involved. So to list the available time zones, you run the command time date CTL space list hyphen time zones. It'll present you with a list of options. So let's say we belong to Asia Kolkata time zone. So to set this, we run the command sudo space time date CTL space set hyphen time zone followed by Asia/Kolkata. Once this command is successful for changes to take effect, we restart the resilient messaging service using the command sudo systemctl restart resilient-messaging.service. SOAR platform comes with a self-signed SSL certificate, but we do not recommend that you use this in a production environment. For optimal security, you obtain a certificate from a trusted certificate authority, commonly known as CA. If you do not have a signed certificate, what you could do, you can create a certificate request and then submit it to a CA like VeriSign or DigiCert for signing of the certificate. Once you receive the signed certificate from your CA, you import it in the SOAR platform and restart the resilient service for the changes to take effect. Now the command to import this certificate is sudo cert-rec. There is an interactive menu that comes up on the screen, which will request for some additional information on fields such as FQDN, subject alternative name, name of your organization, group, city, etc. Upon successful completion of this command, the certificate certrec.pm gets created under the directory /script/certs. Based on your choice of CA, let's say VeriSign, you can go to their website to obtain a signed certificate by submitting the certificate request that you have generated. If the CA asks for server platform that certificate this applies to, you can choose Tomcat. Once done, you can then import it into your SOAR platform. Now to import this signed certificate that you received from your CA, you run this command sudo space cert-import followed by the path to the certificate. After you import the signed certificate, you restart the resilient messaging service. Once done, you are now ready to access your SOAR platform using the URL https:// followed by the hostname of your SOAR platform. Before you can use the SOAR platform, although it's now already available via the URL and you would reach the welcome page, you must configure an initial user account in the platform and an organization to which this user belongs. Remember, this initial user that I'm talking about, this is the platform's system administrator. After you create the system administrator account, you can use this account to create other users in the SOAR platform. So how do I do that? I achieve that by running the command sudo space resutil space new user hyphen help. This command will provide certain set of options. Using these options, you can create a new user and an organization. So using our options, the command that we used here for this lab is sudo space resutil new user hyphen create org hyphen email followed by the respective information for fields first and last. And the org that we have created here is bootcamp. Now, upon successful completion of this command, you'll be able to log into the application and complete the rest of the setup. You must be wondering, is this the only way to create authentication? No, you can also configure SOAR platform to either use LDAP or SAML or two-factor authentication. We'll be discussing about these in detail in our session on QRadar SOAR administration. Now, there are some user accounts and groups that get created, and they are available by default after a successful installation. I can see on the left side the default users that get created, and the right side you can see the default groups that created once your SOAR installation is complete. For some SOAR features to operate, the SOAR system requires access to services on the internet. So we request you to work with your network team or firewall team to ensure that the SOAR platform has access to these URLs mentioned on the screen. Now, as promised, let's get away from slides and get into some demo and have a look at how the SOAR system looks. So like I said, we access the SOAR platform using the URL https:// followed by the host name. Here, the host name for our lab environment is soar.example.com. And the user that we created was admin@example.com. Admin is my user, and example.com here, example is the organization that we created. So here we are. So this is the first welcome page that you see when you log in into SOAR platform. I'll just quickly run through the buttons. There is dashboards, there is inbox, there is artifacts, incidents. There is an option to create incidents. On the right side of your screen, you can see multiple options under admin that has been logged into this platform. It has administrator settings and some customization settings and various other options. This activity dashboard pretty much gives a fair idea about what is going on right now and what sort of incidents are created and who is working on what sort of incident.